Hi everybody. In this little video, I'm going to review the discussion grading rubric. So the first page here, I know you have some experience with it, but I've got a little bit of tweaks that I want to share with you. So you can see that there's 5 different bullet points. And so if one or more of the bullet points are not met, and I'll give you a very easy example, say you don't cite a scholarly article, which is one of the requirements of my course. That means you are only able to achieve only 4 of the criteria, okay? Because the scholarly article is 1 bullet point. So it's either there or not there. So that means that you can earn at a maximum between 30 and 34 points, depending on how well you met the other 4 bullet points, okay? So, and then as you look at the response posts, the evidence, I split that up with each of the 2 responses. So if you cite an article for 1 post but not the other, then the one without the article would start with a score of 17 points. Okay, so this section is 40 points, each response is 20 points, so you'd start with 17. Okay? And what I've done is I've copied, pasted in the expectations of the discussion onto page 2. And so I will just quickly review this for you. It's self-explanatory. No quotes, nothing like that, unless it's like somebody's philosophy or something that is impossible to paraphrase. But otherwise, do not share direct quotes. It gets you to really think about what you're writing instead of copying and pasting something from an article. So move the words around. Cite only scholarly sources. When you do cite, make sure that what you're citing is something that has to do with the course. So instead of writing about, I don't know, say it's about healthcare policy or anything, you're not going to necessarily write about, you know, how to insert a Foley catheter, right? You want to write something about healthcare policy, all right? And, you know, sometimes a lot of citations share a lot of perfect information, but it's you who answers the question. So depending on the question, if it's just like an informational, look this up and cite it, then that's fine. But otherwise, use the citations to support your answer to the question, okay? Sometimes one sentence does the trick from the article. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you need to share just a little bit more. So for example, if you share a definition of a concept from the textbook for the course, from the article, you might not really be sharing anything really new to the class. So try to find something that the rest of the class hasn't read about yet. Okay? Scholarly articles. So they need to be an article from a journal within 5 years. You can get them from the databases. You can also use Google Scholar. Doesn't matter where you find them to me, as long as they're within 5 years. And you need a different article for each post, and the reading list articles do not count. Those are part of the readings for the course. Finding additional content is the point. Again, content that expands knowledge, that your peers that would not have necessarily read that information in the course readings. And again, I talked about that. It should be about what we're learning about that week. Participation, it all has to do with posting on your peers' initial posts, not posts within your thread. And be mindful that this might change according to your professor and other courses, okay? And please sign your name after all your posts. Sometimes you get to the end of the post and you want to make a response and you can't see who wrote it. Plus, you want to take credit for it. That way, we don't have to scroll up to the top of your post. Okay? And check out the DQ announcement. At the very bottom, there's a very brief example on how to organize your discussion post. Okay? And then you'll scroll down to page 3 where you're going to read the written feedback. But the majority of my goal for this video is to review these expectations as well as discussing the scholarly article and how those points are deducted. Okay? I hope this was helpful.